Welcome to the course overview for the JD Duathlon at Southbridge. First up, the race site is at Southbridge Rugby Club, which is approximately 45 minutes from downtown Christchurch, either coming via Dunsandel or via Lincoln, and it's all signposted, but you will receive notifications with a Google link so you can navigate your way out. When you arrive at the rugby club grounds, there is parking on site. That may not be enough for everybody, and when that fills up there will be roadside parking, but please do not park on the left hand side of any of the course, as that will restrict bike movements. So always park on the right hand side of the road and trying not to park on the course at all. On arrival, if you do need the toilets, they will be located in the club rooms. In terms of registration, if you've done any of the prior events, you should have held on to your bib number, so there's no need to register on the day. If this is your first event of the series, then come to the Triathlon Club tent and you can pick up your bib number there. You are required to wear your bib number on the front during both run legs, and you need to have it on you during the bike. It can be switched around if you have a race belt, so it's on your back. You do need to have it on you during the bike legs. As far as the schedule goes, we're normally pretty good at staying on time, so at this event we'll be kicking off with the secondary schools duathlon champs first, followed by the open race, the juniors, and finally the kids. There will be some crossover between events. We should all be wrapped up sort of mid-morning. Onto the race course. First up is the run lap, which is a rectangular loop that you'll complete a certain number of laps depending on which event you're in. You'll be starting at the Domain, running up St James Street, and then starting to make left-hand turns, first into High Street, then to Brook Street, then to Broad Street, and then when you come back to St James Street, you'll either be turning left to do additional laps or turning right to head to transition. There is one street that you will need to cross over. There will be a marshal there. You always need to run on footpaths when footpaths are available. So that's in particular on Brook Street. You need to be running on the footpath whenever there is one. If there's no footpath, then obviously keep to the side of the road at all times. Probably the most important part of the run is to obviously know the course. When you are running down Broad Street and you rejoin or hit St James Street intersection, you need to turn left if you're doing extra laps, or right to go to transition. So you do not go back to transition each time to complete a lap. When you're on the run course, you'll be running on the left hand side. As you approach the transition area, you'll see in this image here there is a crossover point. When you reach that crossover point, you'll switch to the right hand side of the course, following the cones that will lead you around the rugby club rooms, or sort of through the car park area, around the club rooms, and then entering into transition. Just note the flow into transition. You'll run around the outside and enter from the far end of transition. You'll then grab your bike, you'll run out following the red lines you can see on this map, go out into your bike course, come back again following the red lines into transition, again going around the outside and entering at the back end of transition, and then you'll head back out on the run course the same way that you've come in on. Again, you'll cross over at the crossover point, so when you run out you'll be running on the right hand side if there's anybody coming towards you, and then cross over to the left hand side to proceed with your run laps. At the conclusion of the race, you'll run into the car park area and you'll turn right to run down the finish chute. The bike course is similar to the run in as much as it is all left-hand turns. So you will exit the transition area, go down St James Street, turn left into High Street, and then follow the course making left-hand turns. There will be marshals on any corner where you need to be making a left-hand turn. When you reapproach transition, you will either need to make a right-hand turn to carry on to complete another lap, or if you are coming to transition, obviously make a left-hand turn. Again, that point will be marshalled, but you do need to use your hand signals so those around you know what you're doing. And here you can see an overview using Relive, and at the end of this clip we do have a full video overview of the entire bike course. It is all flat, it is all left-hand turns. There is a tiny little hill in there, but otherwise it should be nice quiet roads. The important part with the bike is to know your laps, and whenever you come back into St James Street, To complete a lap, you do not turn left to go down to transition. You just make a right hand turn and you head back out for your second or third lap if required. This is the important part, knowing your distances. If you're in the open or teams race, you're doing 2 laps on your first run, 3 laps on the bike, and then 3 laps on your second run. So important to note that your second run is longer than your first. If you're in the novice, youth or junior race, it's excluding the secondary schools athletes, you're just doing 1 lap on the first run, 1 lap on the bike, and then 1 lap on the run. So that's pretty straightforward, 1 of each. The secondary schools champs, this is draft legal on the bike, and much like the other junior race, you're just doing 1, 1 and 1. So 1 lap on the run, 1 lap on the bike, 1 lap on the run. The only difference is with the secondary schools event, it is draft legal on the bike. All other events are non-drafting. Finally, onto the kids duathlon, which is for the children aged 5 to 9 year olds. You'll see in this map here, it basically gives you a rundown of the course. So for the 5 to 9 year olds course, on the first run they'll do 1 lap following the yellow line, so more or less half a lap of the field. On the bike we'll have 2 different distances. The 5 to 7 year olds will do 2 laps, which is more or less going around the outside of the field, and the 8 to 9 year olds will do 3 laps. Then on the second run, when they finish their bike leg, they'll do 1 lap, 1 complete lap, and then run to the finish. So the transition area is in the top right hand corner, next to the car park. Should all be straightforward. The main thing is that the kids know how many laps they're doing on the bike, and parents can help them with that. And the age is taken from the 31st of December this year. So your age of your child is whatever they're turning this year. So if they're currently 7-year-old, but they're turning 8 by the end of the year, then they are in the 8 to 9 year old category, which means they're doing 3 laps on the bike. We're happy to be incorporating the Canterbury Secondary Schools Duathlon into this race. Within this event we will also include our juniors, which are year 8s who turn 13 this year, so they won't be eligible for secondary school prizes but still eligible to get points and for the JD Duathlon series. So key points are that all athletes will start together, males and females. You can draft off each other on the bike leg, same applies, males and females can draft off each other. We have medals and a trophy for the top 3 in each category, and your age is taken from the 1st of January this year. You cannot have any aero bars, aero helmets, anything like that. This is a draft legal race, so regular bikes only. The course is pretty straightforward, just 1 lap on the run, 1 lap on the bike, which is draft legal, and 1 lap on the second run. So you should have a nice quick time out there, and good luck with your racing. We've got the basic rules listed on this image you can see here. The rest can all be found within the full race manual. Key rules we want to point out is you cannot wear any headphones during this event whatsoever. Drafting is not allowed on the cycle leg unless you're doing the secondary schools event, and really important that we point out the roads are not closed. We do have a traffic management plan in place to make the course as safe as possible, but the roads are certainly not closed. Medical personnel have the right to remove any competitor from the race, and the race director's decision is final. You need to have your helmets on at all times when you're touching your bike, and the rest should be all in the race manual. If you've got any more questions around draft distances, etc., you'll be able to find those in the race manual. Next up, we have a full video overview of the course taken on the front of the car. It is fast forward, but still gives you a good feel for the course. All left-hand turns. Roads, for the most part, are pretty smooth. A few little lumpy bits as you'd expect on open roads, but should be nice and quiet. As always, keep to the left and obey the road rules. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on race day. If you have got any further questions, please refer to the race manual, as that has got more detail than this overview. So have a good build up, see you on race day.